Bundys Garage, Bundy here. Hey, today we're working on a J Series 3.5 liter head. Took it off a Acura TL Type S. Changing out the valve stem seals, which are obviously below the spring down here. But I just want to show you guys how I do it. I'll put some links in the description below to the toolkit that I'm about to use. The spring compressor tool that I use. Pick it up on Amazon. And also put some other links down here. This is how I do it. I've seen videos online where guys are, take a big socket and they hit it with a hammer and the keepers come out. And then they take the socket again. They put like a piece of cardboard, like it's almost like thin, like the like a box of an oil filter. They just rip that and then they put the keepers back in. They hit it again, and everything goes back in nice and easy. Like that's great if you guys want to do it that way. I just don't trust it. I'd hate to do all this work and then have one of the keepers like pop out or spring out or something. So that's why I do it this way. It doesn't take all that much time to do it. Once you get the hang of it, it's not really all that hard. Just more time consuming than anything. What you do, once you get the head off the engine, take your tool. I'm gonna lower this back down. This goes on the bottom side. This goes on the bottom of the valve. And this will go on the top, on the keeper right here. So just setting into place here. On the bottom, I'm just minimizing the distance between the screw and the valve. Okay. Now once you find the right, what do you call this part? Compressor. It comes with different compressors here. You'll see here. It has different sizes. What I found works best for the J Series, the 25 millimeter. You have 23, 19, 16, 30. And like I said, I'll put a link down below where you guys can pick this up. So get my other tool right here. Just start turning it. Start compressing it. Now you do this if you want to change out the valves, if you want to change out the springs, if you wanted to change out the valve stem seals. Let's say you had a timing belt that snapped and bent a valve. This is how you're going to get the valve out. So right here, it's black. That's the keeper. It's like cone shaped. Just separating the two pieces. They are metal. So you can pick them up with a magnet. There you go. You can see them right there. They're shaped like a cone. And there's a ridge. There's like a lip on them. Right up here, there's a lip. And that lip falls into there's an indentation on the valve itself, and that's where it falls into. So, it only goes one way. It goes like that, with the lip on top. Alright, so place those aside. Okay, put that into a place where you won't lose it. Now, uncompress your tool, loosening the screw on the bottom. Okay, that fell apart, but so the top of so this is the part that's on top of the spring. Only goes one way, like this, and then this goes on top like that. It actually sits in there, real nice and smooth like. You have your spring, right? I always like to put them one way so I know which way is up, which way is down. And right here you have your valve stem seal right there. Let me see if I can get more light on it for you guys. Your valve stem seal is right here. Looks like this. This is a brand new one from Honda. I only recommend that you use Honda valve stem seals when doing this job or any job on Honda. So if it's a Honda, use Honda valve stem seals. If it's a Toyota, use Toyota valve stem seals. If it's a Nissan, use Nissan valve stem seals, and so on and so forth. Now the valves right here. I'm just pushing it down with my finger, pulling it out of the bottom. There it is. I've already done all the other 5 on this side, so that's why I'm showing you this. You can see there's a lot of carbon buildup on here. So I'll do is take some time and clean this up. Took my time, cleaned it up as best as I can, scraping stuff off. Next thing you're going to need is a pair of lineman's pliers. You can get these from Harbor Freight. You can get them from Lowe's or Home Depot. They're just wider wider pliers than usual pliers, or regular pliers I should say. Gives you a little bit more surface area to grab the valve stem seal. So just go down here, grab the valve stem seal, twist a little bit. As I'm twisting, and pull it up on it. Come on. Oh, come on. Man, my hands are slippery with oil. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh, come on, man. Sucker was on there. Okay, that's it. It's going to come off distorted because of the pressure from the pliers, but that's it. Throw that away so I don't get confused. I don't see how I could, but don't want to take that risk. So right down here, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Hit it with some brake cleaner. Okay, now to get the new one on, I have some Mobil 1 synthetic grease here. Just take a little smidgen, go around the outside of the stem. Okay, get my new valve stem seal here. Push it down with my finger, get it lined up. Okay, let's see how deep it is. Okay, needs a little bit more. A couple love taps. We should be good to go. So I have a 10mm 1/4" socket. Nothing special. Go ahead, go down here, put it on the valve stem seal. Try and do this so you guys can see it. Okay. Then I have a tiny little hammer. At the same time, I'm gonna hit this like 3 or 4 times. Looking down there, make sure it's seated right. Yep, it's seated correctly. The way you can tell is when you're going to look down here, you're going to look down in the hole, you're going to see there's a gap. There was a gap between the top of the valve stem and where the valve stem seal, they basically bottoms out. They meet up, and then you're good to go. Get any extra grease, clean any of that stuff up. Bring your valve back in. Lead that back up. Okay, valve is back up in place. Next thing I like to do is take the same grease, put it on the end of the valve, or the valve. The reason I do this is so that when I put the keepers back on, the keepers have something to grab onto and not just flopping around. That's probably the toughest getting the keepers back on is probably the toughest part of this whole job. Drop the spring back down into place, make sure that's seated correctly. Get my tool. Okay. The top is still there in place. Set it up down below and then start compressing the spring. Like I said, putting the keepers back on is probably the most difficult part. So I'm doing the exhaust side. I'm going to do the intake side next. If you guys want to change springs or change valves, now's the time to do it. This will be good on your Accords, your Odysseys, your Ridgelines, your Pilots, your TLs, your CLs, any of your Honda J-Series V6 vehicles this will apply to. So I'll probably work for the B's and the K's. Okay, bringing my keeper down into place. If you have big fat fingers, it doesn't make it very easy. It's more of a feel kind of thing. Okay, I got that one in. I have like a little dentist tool right here. The reason I have this is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hold it with my finger here, and at the same time come on the other side and push it around so that I can bring the other keeper on it. Basically I want to put both keepers in this way. because it's really hard between the spark plug tube and right here. So I just want to rotate this 180 degrees so I can get the other one on, but I don't want to lose it in the process of spinning it. That's why I'm holding it with my finger. Okay, it's seated. A little bit more grease here. Okay, got the next keeper that I cleaned up with brake fluid or brake cleaner. Like I said, it only goes one way. The little ridge is at the very top. And that ridge falls into the place of the valve. Okay, I think I got it. Sometimes this can take 5 minutes, sometimes it takes 20. Just depending on the spin of the earth and the pull of the moon. Okay, right here I'm taking the dentist tool on the back side and pushing onto the back keeper here, and with my other finger I'm pushing them together, make sure that they're connected in place, and they are. And that's why I don't want to use like I said, I'll put a description below, but where guys are taking like not mallets, but like a socket and a piece of cardboard and they're hitting it. I just want to know that this is set up correctly. This is why I'm doing it like this, because I want to know that these two keepers are together and situated properly and correctly, so that 1,000 miles down the road this car doesn't come back in with a spring that's popped off and a valve that's dropped. So do how you want to do it. This is how I do it. I might get some hate in the comments, like, oh, you're an idiot, Bundy, you do it the hard way. Well, I'd rather do it the hard way and have it done correctly than have it come back on me. Okay, so there you go, guys. That is how you do a valve stem seal on Honda J Series V6 head. I've done all these. I'm going to do these next. Always go with Honda valve stem seals when doing this. Don't take all this time that you've spent pulling this head off and use inferior parts. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Just like use a quality timing belt kit when you guys go in there. Use an Asen water pump when you go in there. You can use a Gates belt, but don't use a Gates water pump because they suck. Alright guys, there you go. Hope you found this helpful. If you can, subscribe. And like always, I'll keep them rolling for you.